Okay, good morning students. So in our last class we have discussed about Newton's first law. So what is Newton's first law? Tell me. Any body is able to continue its state of rest or uniform motion along a straight line until any external force acts on it. Once if external force acted, then immediately it is going to change its state. So that's why until the absence of external force, body is able to continue the same state. That's it. That is Newton's first law. And today we are going to discuss about Newton's second law of motion. Students, this is very important, and this is the main Newton's laws of motion. If you are able to understand Newton's second law, then it is very easy to understand first and third. Okay? So please observe carefully, students. Newton's second law of motion. Students, generally all of you are going to think Newton's second law means simply F is equal to ma. This is Newton's second law. Like that, so many students are going to think. But F equal to ma is not in Newton's second law. That is just one exceptional case in that law. The main law is any force applied, simply external force applied, external force applied on a body is always equal to rate of change in momentum. Rate of change in its momentum. This is Newton's second. External force applied on a body is equal to rate of change in its momentum. So you need to understand the meaning of momentum first. Students, momentum means product of mass and its velocity of a body is called its momentum. For example, let us consider a body of mass m. Initially, it is moving with a velocity u. Initially, I applied some external force on it. When I applied external force, immediately its velocity is going to change. So please keep in mind, when I applied external force, then it is going to change its velocity. Up to what time I am applying force, its velocity is going to change. If I stopped external force, then no change. So, time taken to apply the force is equal to change in the velocity. It's very important. Okay, so observe here in this case, a body of mass m, initial velocity u. When I applied external force, its velocity changed to v. I applied that external force up to a time t. Right? In this case, initially body is having mass and initial velocity u. So it is going to consider as initial momentum. And here, mass of the body m, because this same body, there is no change in the mass. So mass as it is, and here the velocity is v. So product of mass and velocity in this position is going to consider as final momentum. Got it, students? Final momentum. Basically, momentum means product of mass and velocity. Basically, it is a vector point, right? So now in this case, initial momentum mu, final momentum mv. Right? What I mentioned here, rate of change in momentum. Rate of change in momentum means change in its momentum to time taken. Change its moment to time taken. What is the time taken here? T. So that's why here the force applied on this body, external force applied on this body is equal to rate of change of momentum means simply delta P by delta T. Delta P by delta T. Delta P means change in its momentum. Delta T means time taken for the change. Got it? So change in its momentum means final momentum minus initial momentum by what is the time taken here? T. Okay? So therefore F is equal to what is the final momentum here, students? mv. What is the initial momentum? mu. What is the time? T. That's it. So mv minus mu by T. Students, here m is constant or variable in this case? Constant. Right? So that's why take m common. What is the remaining here? V minus u by T. V minus u by T. Students, V minus u by T. Change its velocity to time taken. Nothing but acceleration. Got it? So in place of V minus u by T, we can write F is equal to m into a. F is equal to ma. So basic equation of Newton's second law of motion is external force applied on a body is equal to rate of change of momentum. So from that, F equal to rate of change of momentum is delta P by delta T. Okay? So delta P means change in its momentum. Change means final momentum minus initial momentum. Time taken T. So final momentum, what is the final momentum here? mv, product of mass and final velocity is final momentum. Minus initial momentum means product of mass and initial velocity is initial momentum mu by time taken is T. In this procedure, in this particular case, m is constant because same body. So there is no change in mass. So mass is constant. So that's why mass comes out. What is the remaining? V minus u by T. V minus u by T. Change in its velocity by time means nothing but acceleration. So F is equal to ma. This is the derivation for this. But students, observe here very clearly. F equal to ma. So here we got this equation when mass is constant. When mass is constant. So when mass is constant, then only you can apply F is equal to ma. Then you may get wonder, sir, if mass is not constant, mass is variable, then what is the situation, sir? Right question. So please observe here, students. F equal to what is the basic statement of second law? External force applied is equal to rate of change of momentum. This is applicable for all cases, whether mass is variable or constant, whatever it may be. F equal to delta P by delta T is applicable for all cases. But F equal to ma is applicable for only when mass is constant. Got it, students? So you may get wonder, sir, if mass is variable, then what formula we need to substitute? What is the differential form of Newton's second law? Students, please observe carefully. If mass is variable, then observe here. This is also called differential form. Differential form of Newton's second law. So what is the basic statement of Newton's second law? Force applied on a body, external force applied on a body is equal to rate of change of momentum. Right, students? So then F is equal to delta P by delta T. Right? Delta P by delta T. Okay? When the change is small, simply we can write this as dP by dt. dP by dt. Got it, students? What is P here? Momentum. So momentum P is equal to product of mass and velocity. We know, right? So now F is equal to d by dt of mv. d by dt of mv. In differentiation, one equation is there, students. Observe it carefully. d by dt of xy, d by dt of xy. What is the equation for d by dt of xy, students? d by dt of xy, x into dy by dt plus y into dx by dt. We know this equation, right? Okay? Or simply d by dt of uv, simply uv. So that we can write it as uv into dv by dt plus v into du by dt. Equation available, na? In the same way here d by dt of mv. So that we can write as m into dv by dt plus v into dm by dt. This is the correct form of Newton's second law. It is applicable for all cases. F equal to m into dv by dt plus v into dm by dt. It is applicable for all cases. If you want to apply for this case, you can apply. In this case, a body of mass m moving with an initial velocity u, external force applied, then body of mass m remains same but its velocity changes to v. So in this procedure m is constant, right? M is constant. If m is constant means there is no change, right? So what is the value of dm then? Dm means change in mass. In this case, what is the change in mass? 0. So if it is 0, then 0 into v, 0. Then what is the remaining in this equation? F equal to m into dv by dt. dv by dt means nothing but acceleration. So it is going to become like F equal to ma. So please understand, students, for any case, for finding the applied force, F is equal to m into dv by dt plus v into dm by dt is the correct equation. When m is constant, clearly note that point. If m is constant, mass of the body is constant, then only F equal to ma. If mass is variable, this is not correct. This is correct. You may get one doubt. Sir, please tell me one example. When m is variable, means m is not constant. Tell me example for that. See, simple example. Rocket propulsion. Rocket propulsion. Just a minute. Please observe here, students. Rocket propulsion. In case of rocket, so observe here, students, like this, right? So here, initially, total mass of the rocket m. When it starts moving up, how it is going to move? It is going to release some exhaust gases. Exhaust gas it is going to release. That means fuel is going to burn, right? So slowly fuel is going to burn and it is going to release some exhaust gases. Consequently, it is going to move up. That means in this case, mass of the fuel inside the rocket is constant or variable? Variable, not constant, because continuously it is going to burn. Fuel is going to burn. Means its mass slowly reduces. Right? So in this case, mass is variable or constant? Variable. So in this case, for finding the value of F, you need to substitute the formula m into dv by dt plus v into dm by dt. This is the formula you need to substitute in this case of rocket propulsion. F equal to ma is wrong because here mass is not constant, mass is variable. Got it? And one more important case. When F equal to ma is not applicable means one more important case. When the given body is moving with a velocity which is equal to speed of light, which is equal to speed of light. Speed of light means nearly 10 power 8 meter per second. The body of mass m initially, which is moving with a velocity v. If this velocity is equal to speed of light, then also F equal to ma is not applicable. Then you may get wonder, sir, you are telling if mass is variable, then only it is not applicable. But in this case, body of mass same, but here it is moving with a speed which is equal to speed of light. Now you are telling that F equal to ma is not applicable. Why? Reason is, when an object is moving with a speed which is equal to speed of light, its mass in that motion is variable, not same. Not same. Little bit its mass is going to increase. No doubt. For finding that variable mass, formula is m equal to m naught by root of 1 minus v square by c square. It comes in second P. How we are getting this equation means we are going to get a clear picture regarding this one in second P. Simple equation. M is mass. M naught means mass of the body at rest. When it starts moving with the speed of light, the variable mass is m, which is equal to 1 minus v square by c square. V is velocity of the body, c is speed of light. So here this mass is little bit more than the mass of the body at rest. Little bit more. So not constant. Keep in mind, when the body is moving with a velocity which is equal to speed of light, sure its mass is going to change. That change also increasing. Mass of change also increasing. Please keep in mind. In these cases, F equal to ma is not applicable because mass is variable. F equal to ma is applicable when mass is constant. That's it. When mass is constant. Got it, students? Some small examples. For example, see students, important point here. For example, a block of mass m. A block of mass m. A block of mass m. It is in rest position right now. I apply a force, external force on it. In this direction, I apply external force. Then sure it is going to move from one position to another position. So mass same. Whatever the direction of acceleration, in this direction, in the direction of applied force, acceleration also. Okay. So now we need to find out acceleration. Then see here, students. In this case, its weight acting in which direction? Downward direction. Normal reaction acts in which direction? Upward direction. Applied force in this direction. Acceleration in this direction. So here, mass is constant or variable, students? Mass is constant. In this case, m is constant. So if m is constant, we can write F is equal to ma. F is equal to ma. Therefore, A is equal to F by m. A is equal to F by m. Right? Students, actually here single force is acting on this body. That's why directly we are taking the equation for finding its acceleration A equal to F by m. Sometimes more than one force is going to act. Then what to do? In such a cases, we need to take net force. We need to take acceleration A is equal to net force by mass. That means, for example, in this direction I applied F2. In this direction I applied F1. So how many forces are applying on it? Two forces. But I am giving that F2 is greater than F1. F2 is greater than F1. Then automatically it is going to move in which direction? In this direction. In the direction of F2, because F2 is greater. So body is going to move in the direction of F2. Right? So what is the direction of acceleration? Along F2 only. Along F2 only. Maybe forces, applied forces on the body may be multiple directions, but resultant acceleration must be one direction only. It lies always along one direction only. Acceleration not possible to continue in different directions. Acceleration must stay along one direction only. So F2 is greater now, that's why acceleration is also in the same direction. Got it? So in this case, acceleration is equal to net force. So in this, which is in the direction of acceleration, that force take as positive. Opposite to the direction of acceleration take as negative. So here F2 is in the same direction of acceleration. So F2. F1 is opposite, so that's why minus F1. So what is the net force here? F2 minus F1 by mass m constant now. So that's why m. So if multiple forces are acting on the same body, then for finding the acceleration A equal to net force by mass. If single force is acting on a body, then for finding the acceleration when its mass is constant, A equal to F by m. These variations you must remember. And small problems I am going to provide, just go through that one, solve that one. Okay.